Let me start at the beginning. There is a plot to kidnap and possibly kill Governor Gretchen Whitmer. What they planned on doing, this is 13 of these cretins, 13 now charged with domestic terrorism. They are extremists. Now, this is according to Dana Nessel, the Attorney General in Michigan. She said the extremists were hoping to recruit new members by seizing on a moment of civil unrest to wreak havoc on the country. She identified the group as the Wolverine Watchmen. Ooh. The members, accused of other things, conducting surveillance outside Whitmer's vacation residence, using code language and encrypted messages to throw off police, plant a bomb under the bridge to divert law enforcement. These guys were, they were really serious. They talked about, we're going to knock on the front door, and when she comes, we should kidnap her, boss? Oh, gee, boss, I don't know. Should we kidnap her? No. Just capper. They were talking about killing the governor of Michigan. I just want to thank God for the DOJ. I want to thank God for the FBI. I want to thank God for all of the investigators and the state police in Michigan. They were on these guys, and they have them dead to rights. They were going to have a big weekend out in the woods practicing. Okay, I'm going to pretend I knock. Hello, yes, I'm the governor. They were going to do that this weekend, but the feds were on them. Now, the press is saying that there's an increase in anti-government rhetoric. Oh, my. Really? Have you heard that? There's an anti-government rhetoric? And there's a reemergence of groups that embrace extremist ideologies. This is more than just a political disagreement or a passionate advocacy. Some of these groups is to create chaos and inflict harm on others. Huh. Now, this is coming. I am sitting down. If I pass out for a minute, I just... Oh, phew. Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I hear something so shocking that I just pass out. We're talking about a group of people that are angry and want to overthrow the government. The suspect called on other members to identify the home addresses and law enforcement officers in order to target them. They made threats of violence to instigate a civil war leading to societal collapse. Oh, whew. Sorry, I haven't heard words like that in a while. I gotta. Can we get some? I don't know. I don't even know what smelling salts are. Can we bring something in that smells? But bring Jeffy in, just in case I need to be. Nessel said the suspects called on other members to identify the home addresses of law enforcement officers in order to target them. According to federal court records, the group hoped to carry out this mission before the November 3rd election and then try Whitmer for treason. The plot, however, was foiled following a federal investigation that involved paid undercover informants and 200 state and federal law enforcement officials executing search warrants in more than a dozen cities around the state, including Belleville, Cadillac, it doesn't matter. The director of the Michigan State Police, which was involved in the case, said the nature of the case is rather unprecedented. This case is one of the largest cases in recent history that the Michigan State Police have been involved in. It sends a very vivid reminder that while we may be in a period of discourse with fighting across the nation, law enforcement stands united. Okay. All right. So do we have this now? The alleged plot against the governor marks the second major militia case brought by federal officials in Michigan in the last decade. 2009, there were arrests of another militia members charged with plotting to revolt against the government that included killing police officers with guns and bombs. All right, now, first of all, let me condemn this. Let me tell you, this is exactly what we told you would happen, I don't know, back in 2009. We told you be very careful on who you're standing with. Now, I don't think anybody in this audience is standing with these guys or anybody like these guys. These guys are not on the right. These guys are not Tea Party members. They're not Trump supporters. That's the truth you're not going to, and I'll back it up. That's the truth that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Why? What I told you in 2008 and 2009, everybody said, that's crazy. I told you, communists, socialists, anarchists, Islamists, and others will all gather together and they will coordinate, even if they don't actually pick up the phone and call each other, even if they don't like each other, they don't talk to each other, they've never communicated with each other, they will see now is the time. Oh, wait, hold it just a second. Wait a minute. Doesn't that just say that in that story that they said, it sends a very, very right, it might be their discourse fighting across the nation. Yeah. Where was that? And they were embracing extremist ideologies. This is a group's mission to simply create chaos and inflict harm on others. This is happening because people are taking advantage by seizing on a moment of civil unrest. It's almost like these groups will work together to destroy capitalism, the free market, the United States, and the Western world. Boy, that still sounds crazy, doesn't it? So let's condemn clearly these people. And let's make sure you know who they are. The disaffected misfits, the militia. Psst, we mean white supremacists and Trump supporters. These guys were upset about Whitmer's economic lockdown. Were they? Yes, and the group talked about creating a society that followed the U.S. Bill of Rights, where they could be self-sufficient. Oh, man, you know who else likes the Bill of Rights? Tea Partiers, Donald Trump supporters. Yeah, but I have a hard time connecting the Bill of Rights with kidnapping and killing the governor. You see what I'm saying there? I'm having a really hard time with that. This is not a new thing. Yes, the FBI finds these people all the time. Joe Biden echoed the words of Whitmer. Whitmer said, just last week, the President of the United States stood before the American people and refused to condemn white supremacists and hate groups like these two Michigan militia groups. Hate groups heard the president's words. Did they? Well, this is also what Biden said. There's no place for hate in America. We've been talking about this for some time. How white supremacists and these militias, they're a genuine threat, he said. I want to compliment the FBI and the police agencies on what they did, how they stepped up. But these groups took the president's words to heart. You've heard me say this before. They can cause a nation and the market to rise or fall, bring war or peace. Oh, yeah. But words can also breathe oxygen into those who are filled with hate and danger, and I just think it has to stop. The president has to realize the words he utters matters. Really? Then he referenced the Charlottesville Very Fine People hoax. We'll give you that audio here if I have time. I played it again yesterday. That's not what, you know what? Please play the president's words on what he said before he said there were very fine people. He's referencing the
but
Charlottesville.
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
On both sides.
You had people in that group.
There
Excuse me.
There
I saw the
he
same
is.
picture.
He's talking about the Klan. He's talking about the white supremacists. No, right before he said that, the media keeps editing out this.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
That's weird. That's weird. Biden said that Trump said they're very good people on both sides. Why can't the president just deny these people? He did. He did. That's a lie. Now, let me tell you another lie. The lie that these are Trump supporters. All right, well, Brandon Caserta, charged with conspiracy to kidnap and commit kidnapping after the alleged scheme to nab Whitmer at her summer home, the governor's official summer residence. They were going to kill her. What did he say? Quote, Trump is not your friend, dude. He said this with an anarchist flag hanging above his shoulder. And it amazes me that people actually believe that when he's shown over and over and over again that he's a tyrant. Every single person that works for the government is your enemy, dude. Well, I like to follow anybody who says the word dude. Oh, there's another cretin. Another cretin. Several members talked about murdering tyrants and taking a sitting governor. The group talked about creating a society where they could be self-sufficient. They discussed different ways of achieving this goal, from peaceful endeavors to violent actions. At one point, several members talked about the state governments they believe were violating the U.S. Constitution. But are these people really for the Constitution? In the picture, in the videos, where he's sitting with the anarchists' Antifa flag behind him, he's talking about the Constitution is illegitimate. Authority doesn't really exist. The law doesn't exist. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. The law doesn't exist. That's almost like there is no truth. He called the police obedient order followers. This group hated the government. They hated Donald Trump. They hated police officers. What more do you need? Oh, and they had the anarchist flag behind them. What part of that sounds like the half of the country that doesn't hate America, that does like law and order, that does think the government is legitimate, who does think the Constitution isn't being followed but should be, who does believe in the rule of the law, who does believe that there are people out there that want to create chaos and destroy the country. That doesn't sound like the right-wing militia, does it?